Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tito Clock. So please welcome your host, James Deacon.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Tito Clock is live until 6 p.m. tonight. I'm Tito James. If I'm not, then that's a huge problem because this is Tito Clock all the way. I got X in the group. I've got Y over here in the studio as well. And we're here to deliver a jam-packed show for you. I know a lot of you come for the raffles, but hey, you know what? We got so much more than raffles going on. We've got the latest in news. We've got Free Plug Friday. We've also got an interview with the third player here for the internet in the country and fast growing to be one of the leaders in the space. So tune in for that because they've also got some special deals for Tito Clockers if you hang around for that one later on. And yeah, all the usual fun and games that we do every Friday. So let's say what's up to those who are tuned in. Normally at this point, we usually check in with May and June, but it's just May who is the first up here. Mayan at exactly 5 p.m. I love how consistent this Mayan is. She's been with us since the beginning of the show and hasn't missed the show, and it's just great to see that she's always first on board. Also, we've got Quincy David or Bautista out there, Jay Benedicto, Elmer Capuno, another regular Tito Clocker. We've got Norlin Lanuza, we've got PDJ Reyes, we've got Ray Membrave, we've got Seti Ray, we've got Nina Labez, Rochelle Espiritu, Juan Bautista. So many of you tuned in. It's great to see. We couldn't do the show without you, or we could, but it would be really awkward, right? We'll just have this massive echo going on because we'd be speaking to nobody. So it's good to have you on board. Let's get this on the road. And for that, what we need to do is get on the same page and figure things out with what is going on with our world. And for that, we need Chris with the latest in headlines. What you got for us there, Chris?
Hey! Hi, Tito James. Happy Friday, my fellow Tito Clockers. This is Chris, all the way from currently rainy Quezon City. And here is your Tito Clock News. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, said overseas voting turnout for this year's election may exceed that of 2016's, as 23% of over 1.69 million Filipino voters abroad have cast their ballots. COMELEC Commissioner Marlon Casquejo attributed the increase to a vote anywhere policy where voters can go to any Philippine embassy or consulate as long as that site caters to walk-in voters. Overseas voting started on April 10 and will end on May 9. However, some overseas Filipinos are still facing problems, like those in Cyprus who have complained about not yet receiving their mailed ballots. The COMELEC suggested they go to the Philippine diplomatic post to be able to vote. For Filipinos in Shanghai, the poll body is eyeing a one-day special voting period in case the area remains under strict COVID-19 lockdown beyond Election Day. The COMELEC expressed confidence that the May 9 polls will proceed smoothly. The Philippine Statistics Authority released today data showing unemployment rate in March eased to 5.8%, or equivalent to 2.87 million jobless Filipinos. The total is lower compared to the 6.4%, or 3.13 million unemployed Filipinos in February. March joblessness rate is also better compared to the 7.1%, or 3.44 million without jobs in March 2021. Underemployment, or people who need more jobs or job hours, rose to 15.8%, or 7.42 million in March, from 14% of 6.38 million in February 2022. The total employment rate, meanwhile, also slightly improved to 94.2% rate from 93.6% the previous month. Economic managers said the easing of COVID-19 restrictions and recovery of business activities could lead to more jobs, which is reflected in the current employment data. However, several groups such as the Asian Development Bank warned that although employment numbers are reverting to its pre-pandemic level, there was an increase in low-quality jobs. Kiefer Ravenna will get to shoot for a sixth Southeast Asian or SEA Games gold medal with teammates built to destroy the opposition in an event that comes closest to a sure gold for the Philippines in the biennial meet. Ravenna comes in as a replacement for Spitfire guard Robert Bollick, according to national coach Chot Reyes. Apart from Ravenna, Fajardo, and Wright, suiting up for the Philippines are Mo Tautua, who will be Gilas's naturalized player, Japan-based pro 30 Ravenna, PBA pros Roger Pogoy, Kib Montalvo, and Troy Rosario, young national team reliables Isaac Go and Will Navarro, and teenager Francis Lopez, who already has had a cameo with the national team. Ravenna's personal golden streak in the SEA Games began in Jakarta, Indonesia, back in 2011. The other notable cuts from the original talent pool were Poy Eram, Calum Harris, and Japet Aguilar. The Philippines has been the undisputed king in SEA Games basketball, having won 18 gold medals. Disney's Percy Jackson and the Olympians has found its lead trio. After casting Walker Scobell for Percy Jackson, the show unveiled the actors for Annabeth and Grover Underwood. Leah Savage Jeffries will play Annabeth Chase, the demigod daughter of Athena, while Aryan Simhadri will play Grover, everyone's favorite satire. The three characters headline the original Percy Jackson and the Olympians book series written by Rick Riordan. Riordan announced that a live-action series adaptation of his story was in the works for Disney as early as May 2020. Percy Jackson and the Olympians is a series of books that brings to life Greek mythology as it tells the story of Percy, a once normal boy who discovers he is the son of Poseidon when he comes of age. Those were the latest in headlines. Now it's time for this week's dose of Kamote Corner.
Just go. Ano naman to, ma'am, sir? Go easy on me, Chris. Go easy. It's been you see these white hairs? See? There's more this week. Okay? I'm attributing this to Kamote Corner. How about that? Huh?
Alright. Sisisihin ko yung mga nagsisend sa atin ng videos and photos.
Okay, go. Let's go. Oh, wait. I
Tita
don't
James.
Hello,
Everybody. All right. The first one we have is The Clash, but not
Let me
the
see.
Titans. So he goes
We got. Uy.
there.
What happened there? Did we see what happened?
There's no audio, but there's a last minute, what do you call this? Horn sound from the other person.
What caused it? What was it? Was it a car? Or what happened there?
I think the guy is in a scooter
Yeah, didn't get hit by. Who did he get hit
by
by?
a motorcycle.
Oh, so he's on like a stand-up scooter and he got hit by a motorcycle.
Yes.
Okay.
Ayun.
Okay. Oh, yeah. It looks like there's a stand-up scooter, and that's a regular. Anyway, be careful.
Yep. And so the person with the GoPro says, I'm going slow. Why did you still speed up? Something. Argue.
Well,
Anyway.
sometimes going slow is just as bad as going fast. That's why we have speed limits, minimum and maximum. Because if you're not doing if you're not keeping pace with traffic, you are a hindrance. That goes both ways. So a lot of
That's
people think, oh, if I'm slower, I'm safer. No, you remember, you have to keep the
No.
flow. You have to
That's
be
true.
in sync with the rest of everybody out there. You going particularly, I hate that. It drives me insane, especially when it's like 2-lane roads and two cars sit there like that. Especially when you're like, you complain about traffic so much, and when it's not traffic, you get to the skyway or something, and then they drive like this. Gets my goat. Anyway, nothing to do with the last video. That was just me random. Go on. Next, please.
All right. Next up we have is kasalanan ng Waze. Yun lang naiisip ko. Kasalanan ng Waze. You know, I've had the same experience as a passenger. Something kind of similar as this one, but we
Hey,
didn't.
at least you can back up.
Yeah,
You gotta give credit where credit is due. I mean, that's not most of them actually back up, don't they?
they would.
Yeah. So, we're we gotta be like give our kamotes a chance. If they're not full on kamotes, we gotta give them credit where credit is due. So, if you just kind of did that, it's bad, but it's
Yeah,
not as bad as reversing.
that's
But it's still
that's
bad.
true. It's
But
still
we
bad.
acknowledge the effort of being a
Mhm.
slightly less kamote.
Yeah. But yeah, navigators are very important people in our lives. Thank you, Waze. All right. Halfway there. The next one is something you've posted already. And so
Okay.
I saw a hashtag of this. They called it hashtag tricycle sakalam. Oh yeah.
Did I post
I'm
this now? No, I
yes.
haven't seen. Uy, a double decker. Oh my!
Yes. Oh,
Pwede
I
pang
think I
long.
saw it from another person, I guess. I
Yeah,
thought you
that's it.
posted it.
No, that is. Oh, okay. But this is cool. A double decker tricycle. No, I know what you saw. It was yeah, it was literally another tricycle on top of the tricycle, and what do we call that one again? That was
Oh,
ah,
oh, right. Okay. But yeah,
this is new. So at the
this
end of
is
the show,
new.
we can post this too.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're wondering why we don't post as much during the week because some people are saying you used to post all these camotes every day and all that. It's because these two are in cahoots over here, Chris and X, and I think even Wise and where they kind of hoard all the important stuff. They hide it from me so that they can shock me on Friday, and then I'm allowed to post it. And this is why all these hairs are white.
Salt and pepper, people. All right. We have more. We have more. I think this one you really did post this like recently. I would call it how to stay anonymous.
Oh yeah. I call
Oh,
it masking your identity, but
mask your
we'll
identity
take a
indeed.
suggestion for sure. We shouldn't be laughing. I don't know why we're laughing. It is this is kind of serious, but we've just seen it all at this stage on the clock. We've seen through our inbox some
That's
really
true.
really crazy shit. So
That's true. I mean, there's no point in getting all riled up and high blood. Yeah, we just
yeah,
laugh things
well,
off.
it has
But
to.
yeah,
Yeah,
this is serious, guys. Why?
mhm,
I mean, why
mhm.
would they do this? Maybe he's coding. That's why.
Maybe, but no, you don't go to the motorcycle. So I don't know. Don't know
I
anymore.
don't know.
No contact apprehension, maybe, or maybe he really
Uh,
just thinks, he's protecting it
or
from a
maybe somebody
virus.
played a prank on him.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm done. I'm done trying to get into the minds of Camotes to understand why they do
Diba?
what they do. I'm done because
Mag-over-
eventually I'll just go crazy. So yeah,
Mag-overthink tayo pare-pareho. Riding in tandem daw yung isa.
yeah.
Anyway. All right. We're down to the last one, Tito James. And this is another post that you did. I call it, thanks for the concern. But you called it, it's a trap.
It's a trap. I mean, like seriously, you'll feel gaslit, won't you? You'll be like, "Well, hang on a second.
You
So,
do.
am I U-turning with care that I don't get caught? Is that the messaging here, or what's going on?"
Ang labo. Ano
Uh,
bang gagawin natin, Tito
you know,
James?
I don't know. I haven't seen it anywhere else in the world. Correct me if you have, but I've traveled a lot, driven a lot. I don't see these signs where sometimes on Philippine highways you'll see "Don't change lane." You'll see that
And
first
then
sign, and
change
then
it.
the next sign, maybe 50 meters down the road, strictly "Don't change lane."
Spoon feeding
Really?
na
I mean, firmer 50 meters down the road. I mean, what strictly it should just be one. Don't change lane is don't change lane. Walang,
That's
oh,
true.
ito, serious na to, ha? Strictly don't change lane. What's next? I'm gonna count to 10. Oh, 9. Oh, 8. If you're gonna change lane, you know what I mean?
Yes, that's true. It's because Pinoys are pasaway. I'm sorry.
No, But what I'm saying is, why, if we keep having to adjust, when I say we, meaning the law enforcement side, keep having to adjust the whiteness, you can see who's in control, right? That's
True.
my point. Is we should just be a draw a line. The line should be clear, and you shouldn't have that long eye. You shouldn't have
Yeah.
creative license with it or gut feel to it, and that's why we're in this mess. It's like they'll later on say, "Oh, you only warned me twice." It's clear that the underlying unspoken rule is 3 times. No, it's not. It's when they say no, it's no. But
That's true. Take a
I'm
hint,
trying to
guys.
find what is it I'm going
Isang
crazy.
sabihan lang kasi. All right, and that's all we got today. And once again, you
Woo, 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 woo.
enjoy the weekend, guys. Advance congratulations to our raffle winners and avoid kamote people, but always choose happiness with some Sugar Rush. Follow me on my social media and follow Sugar Rush Entertainment PH on Facebook and Instagram. Remember to stay safe, healthy, hydrated, and also on Monday, vote wisely, guys. This is Chris. See you guys. Bye.
Bye, Chris. That was Chris with the latest in headlines and always bringing a nice chirpy tone to it, making good news, even bad news sound good. That's how effective he is. That's why we love having her on the show. And if you could use a little Sugar Rush in either your voiceovers or maybe children's parties, online hosting and stuff like that, just give her a buzz. She's over there. You can see her IG and FB stuff over there. This is how we like to do things over here. We like to keep it in the community. And can you believe it? I've never met Chris. There's a confession right now. I've never met Chris, right? And it feels weird because we met in the pandemic and we've been doing a show for about over a year with her. And but this is how we can get things kickstarted. Keep it in the community, get people out there who are, like she did some voiceover work, and this is how we get that economy circulating again. And another way that we do that is with what we call Free Plug Friday, which is just a little initiative that we took to be able to give small businesses a chance to advertise for free simply by contacting us on our IG details below, which you'll see flashing over here. And if you are small, if you don't have the budget, and especially if you pivoted into this during the pandemic, we'd like to help you out. And for that, we need X. What you got in the box there this week, X?
Hi, Tita James. We actually have a lot in store once again. But before we go there, I just want to say hi to all you plumbers. Welcome to another edition of Free Plug Friday. All right, please your eyes on the screen, Tita James. Let's start Free Plug Friday by scrubbing ourselves clean with products from Shower Hot PH.
Yeah, rocket.
Yeah, Rocket. Wait, what? No, wait. Shower Hot PH offers a variety of mild, 100% locally handmade fast shampoo, lotion, conditioner bars, and soaps that are sulfate-free, cruelty-free, and eco-friendly. Why are you laughing, Tita James? What do you think?
The cruelty part. Rocket needs something more than mild because it's cruelty on us. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Tita James, what do you think of the scents that they sent over?
The scents that they sent.
Like the sweet caramel boba.
That's a little bit of a pun there. The scent of this, what they
The
sent.
scent, yes.
Of what they sent.
made-
Okay, yeah, no, interesting. I love different types of soaps and stuff like that. Especially for the guest bathroom, it's always like a
Yes.
talking point.
If
I
you
love
have
it.
something like this, like for example, a sweet caramel boba, or perhaps a lemon peel and charcoal. Smell that, Tita James.
Yeah, look, yeah, exactly. So what I was saying, when you put it, let's say in your guest bathroom, it becomes a conversation piece because people who use it, they come, what, that's nice soap, or otherwise they take it home, and that's still a
Even the
conversation piece.
shampoo bars and conditioner bars, like they're so small, but I guess these can do a lot for your hair, huh? I mean, I've never even tried myself a shampoo button, but it's pretty interesting. So guys, price starts at 219 pesos for a 70-gram shampoo bar, 349 pesos for an 80-gram shampoo button, 329 pesos for a 60-gram conditioner bar, and hope you can check out the other products. Again, Shower Hut on Facebook, Instagram, and shop. Next, we go to Salmon HQ. So Salmon HQ offers premium salmon products from salmon cakes, salmon platters, sushi bake, poke nachos, poke bowls, and others. How did you find it, James?
Very nice. I particularly enjoyed the was it salmon cake? Was it like a cake?
Yes, the salmon
What
cake.
was inside
Wow.
that cake?
You know what, to be honest, it seemed like it was kind of like ebi with some chopped salmon and some rice.
Yeah. There
So
was
it
some rice in there.
There was
Yeah.
some rice. There was some rice for sure.
So it's almost like a sushi bake-ish, almost
Yeah, but in a raw
hybrid.
form.
Yeah, it was
And then,
very interesting.
A lot of people actually want salmon cakes for their birthday, especially like for someone like me. I really love salmon, so I wouldn't mind getting that for my birthday because it's really interesting, and you see how intricate they made it, and it's
Yeah, it
so
does. It looks
fresh.
like it's really nice. Actually, the presentation is really good.
Really, and they actually have other designs as well. Again, guys, so hope you can also try the sushi bake, which came with two kinds. I think Tito James half was California and half was Aburi SSE, which means scallop, salmon, and ebi. And of course, they also had the poke nachos. We didn't try it with the nacho itself, but it was actually pretty good. Guys, price starts at 1,350 for a salmon cake, 1,350 as well for the whole platter, 600 pesos for a sushi bake, and price starts at 700 pesos for the poke nachos. Hope you can try the other products as well, and since it's perfect to bring to a gathering or get together with family and friends who all love everything salmon. Again, Salmon HQ on Facebook and Instagram. Tito James, after all that fish, we need to rinse it off with dessert from Laho by Kitchen 24. So Tito James Laho or Lajo by Kitchen 24 offers cinnamon rolls and cookies. Which one did you like the most?
Cookies.
Wow,
The cookies
that was
were
fast.
good, really good. Well, because I didn't try the cinnamon bun just yet, but I tried the chocolate mint cookie.
Yes, the
That
dark chocolate
was
mint
to
cookie.
die for. It was so good. Then there was another cookie I tried.
I think that was a chocolate chip cookie.
So soft and chewy and
Yes.
moist and
You
oh
see the
my
kind of
god.
chocolate was melting inside
Oh,
it,
so was
molten
I.
inside
I
it.
was melting too. I gotta say, this was really good. I don't gush this much about because I'm particular about cookies. I love cookies, and it takes a lot for me to sort of praise a cookie because I got high
believe
standards
you.
for
I
that.
believe you, James.
This
knowing-
was super good.
Exactly. Knowing that you're a cookie monster, James, I really believe you and hope you guys do too. So, guys, price starts at 295 pesos for the cinnamon rolls, which was actually nice and soft and had really good frosting. And it's 185 pesos for the cookies. Again, Laho by Kitchen 24 on Facebook and Instagram. Next, we go to Pop Up Champagnes PH. So Pop-Up Champagnes PH started in 2021, and it's a one-stop shop for your champagne needs as a way to celebrate or if you just want to wind down. So price starts at 2,800 pesos per bottle. It's a little pricey, but it's really good champagne, James. And it can go up depending on the brand. Again, Pop-Up Champagnes PH on Facebook and Instagram. Next, we go to Grand White PH. So Grand White PH offers DIY home whitening kit that's said to not only make teeth whiter in 50 minutes without any tooth sensitivity, but it also helps to heal gums, kill bacteria, and they're even offering a 30 days money back guarantee if it doesn't whiten your teeth. Regular price is 2,499, but it's currently being offered in Lazada for 1,699 because of the 5/5 sale. Again, Grand White PH on Facebook, Instagram, Shopee, and Lazada. Last but not least, we go to Banda 31, original of Santa Maria, Bulacan. And can you imagine that's a Facebook page name, Tito James?
My goodness. Imagine explaining that to your Lala Move guy every single time. Ano daw? Ano, sir?
Banda 31, original of Santa Maria, Bulacan. What? Okay, it's
Well, the upside to that is, I guess, also the name of your business is also your address, so you don't have to repeat yourself.
Exactly. But actually, Tito James, the reason why it's called Banda 31, it's because it's founded in 1931.
Oh, it's not okay.
It's way older than two of us combined. I mean, no offense, guys, but congratulations. And this band started with only a member of 28 people. And now it's currently with an ensemble of an all-youth ensemble of 120 members.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
it's pretty
So
cool.
Oh, wow. All right. I guess it's a band.
It's a band.
That's what the banda stands for.
Banda.
All
Banda,
right.
yes, and you know, the one plays music. Anyway,
Yeah.
Tito Jays are a non-profitable, non-stock organization, and they keep producing young and talented musicians which have won several awards, have won many competitions nationwide, and featured in different television networks in the country. So guys, should you need a band to perform at your event, again, Banda 31 Original of Santa Maria, Bulacan Inc. Don't forget on Facebook. Well, that's all we have for this week's edition of Free Plug Friday. Stay safe and always sanitize the clockers. This is X. Peace out. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.
Woo!
Woo! Rocket, chip, rocket.
Friday, our little initiative just to help small businesses get back on their feet and circulate that money around the local economy. See, the way we see it, if you start spending the money locally among your neighbors and friends, that creates a ripple effect and that moves outwards. And that's how we get out of this economic crisis that we've all put ourselves into since that lockdown. Anyway, if you have a business that you would like featured on Free Plug Friday, just keep in mind we only allow this for smaller businesses that have pivoted, let's say, into something new, family businesses, small businesses that don't have the budget to advertise. That's what it's all about. So if you think you fit into that criteria, pop us a message. You'll see it over here. It's scrolling down below. You can send it to @Deaconitis on Instagram. It's pretty fast because we keep that account pretty clean just for that. So we'll check your messages there. X will look after you and she'll schedule you as soon as she can. So that's it. So at this point, we have our special guest of the week, and nothing could possibly be more important right now than internet. We really felt this in the pandemic. So this is why we've invited today from Converge, who have now been the leading player, or they're at least the newest player coming in, and they vow to change things and change the landscape of internet in this country. Would you please welcome up the COO himself of Converge, Mr. Boboy Romero. Mr. Romero, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you, James. Thank you for inviting us.
You're absolutely welcome. Normally at this point, this is where we check if the internet connection of our guest is stable, but we won't go through that with you because we know it is.
Thank you.
You know, with a lot of these things going on right now, this is the way we do business nowadays. This is the way everybody transacts online. There must have been a whole new burden on internet, and you being the newest player, how is that to deal with, especially up against those two giants? How did Converge get started? Tell us your story.
Converge is actually quite old in terms of parent company. It started in the 90s as a cable TV operator in Pampanga, where Dennis came from. He started a company called Angeles City Cable. This happened immediately after the US bases pull out, no? So he started cable TV as he was noticing that the videotape rental business that he had was going slow. And he realized that it was because of cable TV. And over time, by the way, cable TV technology evolved. It became known as hybrid fiber coax. And that's when fiber started. So he transitioned the cable TV business into an internet and TV business, mainly in Central Luzon. I used to work for another telco. And in those days, I was allowed to become one of the beta of a new high-speed copper technology. I think it was ADSL 2+, and it went to 15 megabits per second. Okay, so speed is one of the issues. Second is the quality. Since fiber, again, it's light, no? There are no physical connections. It's more immune to interference. For example, electromagnetic surge, and it's not metal, no? Copper, obviously metal. It's not prone to corrosion, which is one of the banes of copper networks. So, finally, again, the bandwidth, no? Fiber can actually provide up to today, no? In for example, in our submarine cable system, up to 24 terabits of speed. What is that? 24,000 gigabits or 24
Wow.
million megabits, right?
I can't
So
get
there's
my
a
head
limit
around.
capacity. You just need to change the equipment. For example, today, the fiber to the home that we install, the line actually can run to 1 gigabit per second. And copper cannot do that. So fiber does it, higher speed, higher reliability, no interference, and it's very green, by the way. No, from the converged offices to the customer's premise, there is no active equipment. You don't need equipment in the street or in the poles that requires electricity. That's why when we call our fiber to the home technology GPON, the P actually means passive. There is no active electronics, so it's very green as well.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So I'm still stuck on the 24 terabyte. That I just can't get that out of my head. I would wonder what maybe watching a boxing match or UFC on that, you'd probably get hit by sweat too. That's how high definition it would be with that kind of bandwidth. All right, the patterns of people, they changed a lot during the pandemic. And you said you joined 2015, so you'd have a good basis of comparison. Tell us what happened during that time. How much was the demand, and how did you address this?
I started 2016. In those days, it was copper technology. One of the other features of fiber, I forgot to tell you, is it is symmetric. Up and down are the same speed. When you're talking of copper, whether it's DSL or coax, it's asymmetric. The up is actually a whole lot slower than the down. So it wasn't necessarily fit for work from home, which is popular nowadays, right, James? I remember when Dennis was inviting me to join Converge, the first thing he did was install fiber to my home. And I can remember the old days when I had to send like a 20 megabyte PowerPoint file, and it would take forever because upstream was like 1 megabit. So he installed a 20 megabit fiber line to my home, symmetric. So one time I had to send a big PowerPoint file. I pressed the send button, and I was really amazed that within a few seconds, it was sent. Unlike with ADSL and cable modem, it takes forever. So it enabled that kind of a work style, right? It is now possible to work from home. Second, entertainment was switching from public venues to more of a home-based streaming type of service. We all know how popular Netflix is, how popular YouTube is, plus all of the other OTTs now coming up, right? HBO Go, Amazon Prime, Disney, etc. And that requires high quality and high speed. So during the pandemic, for example, the first thing we noticed once we entered the lockdown, a massive surge in traffic. When we looked at our network, we saw that the volume of video had exploded. That meant that, people were locked up in their homes, nothing to do, and they started to consume video over the internet. So it's one of those things that on top of working is now living your your home lifestyle, no? The entertainment part switched over as well. And today, it's very important to have internet not only for work and entertainment, but our kids as well. Online schooling became important, and video quality, right? Very important. Voice quality, very important. If you have a crappy internet service, you cannot catch up. The video is bad, you don't see the lesson, you cannot understand the teacher cannot understand you. So now you have all of those three: work, education, and your entertainment, all coming into your home internet on fiber.
Wow, you really spelled it out there. It's actually why some countries have already actually labeled the internet as a human right now. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I think it's Sweden or one of the Nordic countries. And I think it's for good reason too, because like electricity and telephone, we really need our internet. I think you just painted that out for everybody here. But what makes Converge different? I mean, there are other players. Why Converge?
When we entered the market, this category didn't really exist, no, to the size and scale that it is today. We came in with no preconception. For example, we were the first to offer a symmetric internet service. Until recently, one of the big players was still asymmetric. Eventually, they followed suit because of work from home. Second, we were the first to introduce unlimited, no data cap. Before they had data caps. But we were saying we have unlimited bandwidth to the home. Why do we have to offer data caps? And then moving further, observing behavior of our customers, we started to introduce very innovative products and services. Some of them 2-3 years old, still not copied. Example, time of day. You're not awake 24 hours a day. Why do you pay for a 24-hour internet? So with our time of day service, you can have double the bandwidth when you need it, when you're awake. And it comes at a lower cost. So there is that innovation that comes from being new. Being new is not necessarily a disadvantage. It allowed us to have very open minds. Next, we have the most modern network today, which we built at a lower cost than anybody else. And you know why? Because we built it ourselves. We did not outsource it, which is the common norm in the industry. You pay somebody else to build your network. So we started a company called MetroWorks that does our network construction. So we built our network ourselves, therefore it's faster, we control the quality and at lower cost. And being a new player, we were lucky. We have no legacy. We have no legacy equipment. Everything we put in our network is the latest and greatest. And our network will scale. So we will continue to add speeds to your plans over time. And that will not necessarily cost us more money or cost you inconvenience as we upgrade. I think those are the key differentiators for us.
Well, I already knew that. You're speaking to the choir because I'm already a Converge subscriber, but I wanted everybody else to hear that, you see, because I didn't want it to sound like I was making it up. But you're right. It's absolutely crucial. And I mean, the speeds that I get here in the studio are around about, it's 300 download and about 350 upload. So it's even if it's a little, sometimes it drops a bit. It's so fast. It really is stable and reliable. You mentioned before that the previous connection, well, my previous connection before, way before Converge, was ADSL, but I had other connections with other carriers that were ADHD, that they just could not, they were all over the place. So I'm really grateful for my Converge connection, and I'm sure a lot of other people are. You have this little show your speed promo going on at the moment. Tell us, maybe there's a story that stands out for you with your customers.
During the pandemic, many stories all along the same vein. During the pandemic, everybody was scrambling for an internet connection. And I was getting a lot of unsolicited messages from people trying to reach out and trying to get help to get their internet connected, as fast as possible. So there are Facebook Messenger messages, sometimes SMS or Viber from people who gave my name to other people. And it was a crazy time, no? In fact, we were overloaded. But I was able to help a lot of people. And, the nice story there is after their internet services were installed, I would get further messages. May I get your home address, please? I said, no, I think you're going to send me something. There's no need. We're just doing our job. And, people send me food. Right? They send me home cooked food, they order food, and they would say, you're a lifesaver. So those are the stories that I remember very much, and I had new friends because of this. No?
Well, I can certainly relate, because there was a period during the pandemic where I also lost my internet, and yeah, I tell you that isolation takes a whole new meaning when that happens to you during a pandemic. So I can certainly relate to them. One of the things about being new, right? We talked about the advantages of being new. You have no more legacy equipment. You're ahead of the game. But there is a bit of a downside to being new, because that means now your competitors are looking at you and going, okay, now we're going to improve on that. So the question is, what's next for Converge? How do you stay ahead of the game?
To us, it's really very important to keep track of customer behavior. The other thing that we're trying to work very hard on is a very difficult concept. No, how do we identify what a customer will need before they realize that they need it? many times what is available on the market is based on what is known from the past. But I think we've done pretty well trying to predict what customers will be needing, moving forward. And some of them are really, really important and would be massive, move the needle kind of things. And some of them would be nice to have. So to us, that is a regular ingredient in our, like my leadership team meetings. We always try to think about, how is customer behavior changing? No, we're very big fans of these concepts of blue ocean strategy or market driving innovation. So I think maybe if we can just continue to do that, try to use all of these frameworks to try to understand what a customer will need that they haven't even thought of, and then make it available to them, is what's gonna help us, be ahead of the curve. There are other things we're cooking today. Of course, until we go to market, it's premature to talk about it. But again, these are coming from insights from customers. Obviously, we also look at global trends and technology trends, and we try to marry all of them together.
Well, that's definitely one great way of staying ahead of the game. Now we have time for just one last question, so I'll bundle two together just to cheat a little bit. Why don't you end by telling us some of the special promos that are happening for Converge for new customers, and let's bundle it with the next one. How can people apply for a new line?
Today, we have an ongoing promo for new applications. We've reached a certain scale. By the way, I wasn't able to tell you before, no? My founders, Dennis and Grace, they run this company on a shoestring, right? Every peso counts, every customer counts, and every peso earned goes back to an investment. I think we've gotten to a point where, we have scale and we can give a little back. So for a limited period of time, any new customer will not have to pay installation fees. Installation fees around 2,500 pesos or 125 pesos a month on installment basis. So we're waiving that. In the meantime, also, we've upgraded the plans, the lowest speed plan from 50 to 100. So on a promotional basis, it is available to new applicants. They can apply, don't have to pay anything upfront, and enjoy double the bandwidth. And one of the objectives also see, how does it affect the network, right? But we're confident that our network can take it. We also recently launched a new promo. We launched an IPTV service recently, Vision. It's like a replacement for cable TV. So they just pay an upfront fee for the IPTV box. They get 6 months or 12 months free on their 24-month subscription, depending on the plan subscribe. So again, that's another way of introducing a new product that customers really need anyway, and giving them back. So, and you mentioned the speed test promo, right? So just test your speeds, and then put it in our system, and then you're included in a raffle. Very nice prices. So
there better be
some other things going on.
There better be some nice prizes, because when I post my speed, ang daming galit sa akin eh. Ang daming inggit eh. There's people who are very angry about their speeds right now, and a lot of these people are locked in to legacy networks and they can't seem to get out. But if you can get out, now you know where to go. Converge has the latest in offering and technology, and they are offering fantastic promos to get you started. So people can go apply for a new line. Is it gofiber.ph?
Yes, that's the other part, no? People can actually apply online. Don't have to talk to anybody. So our new website, we actually revised it, no? www.gofiber.ph. So you just log in there, you put in your basic information, your ID, you choose a plan. And, there are many instances where from the time you apply to the time that it's installed takes less than 3 days. In some cases, quite instantaneous depending on the load. So we encourage customers to try the website. It's the most convenient way to apply for our services. And by the way, I almost forgot, James. If you apply online, we also have a promo going on there. So online applications are also part of another raffle. We like raffles. We learned it from you, James, right? You do it every day. So if it works for James, and it should work for us.
Yes, absolutely. It's foolproof, right? I've never known anyone to get offended by a raffle,
Yeah.
especially when they win. Boy, thank you so much for your time. That's the Boy Romero, COO, Converge ICT Solutions Incorporated. Thank you also for a very stable connection over here. Very, very grateful for it. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, that was Boy Romero, COO of Converge ICT Solutions Incorporated. Converge is the biggest, the latest player in the ISPs or internet service providers, and a lot of people getting a lot of relief. Try them out if you haven't already, and do a speed test. And that's really the proof of the pudding that's in the tasting. Well, for internet, it's in the speed test. And well, that wraps that up. But let's now hit our next portion of the show, which we call Ask Me Anything, brought to you by Modalite Pang Matagalan. All right, so what we got there, X? What do we got? What we got? What we got? What we got? Rocket. What do we got, Rocket? We're damning. There's so many people tuned in right now waiting for the dash cams. You know, it's kind of the pressure. I feel the pressure mounting. What we got here? I'm planning on choosing between the Chevy Trailblazer, LTX LTZ models, or Ford Explorer 2.0 EcoBoost. I assume these are used, right? Or new? Okay. They're basically on the same price range on the they're used market. Any comments, feedbacks on the unit, sir? Well, yeah. I had a what you call it, two Trailblazers. I still have one. Sold one. 2014 one I sold, like 2017 one. I love it. Personally, I haven't had any problems with either of them, and so I could definitely highly recommend it. Having said that, the Ford Explorer 2.0 EcoBoost, it is tempting when you look at it. It rides better. It has more features in terms of like a few more luxurious features. But the thing about Ford Explorer, especially those EcoBoost ones, there's a lot of service here that people complain about. And the problem is the parts, the service are just not on par with many of the other manufacturers. And so that's the only thing that puts me off. I'm being very honest here. I hate to say it sometimes because I know the people at Ford work very hard, but I also know that customers also work very, very hard for their money. And when they go there and then they get these problems with parts and service, which has been a long and drawn out problem for them. It's not new. So that's kind of why I kind of get a little, I can't really get behind the whole supporting the idea of getting a used Ford, especially over something like a Trailblazer, solely because of that. So there. These are also completely built up units that come from the United States. So the parts are difficult to get, and they usually take a bit longer versus the Thailand versions of the Trailblazer. But also know this, to be fair, Trailblazer has been discontinued already. So there is no longer those LTX and LTC models. That's something also to keep in mind moving forward when you're making that decision, because they did close down their plant and they are not going to renew that. Supposedly in the near future, that model will be replaced by an all-new Trailblazer that has nothing to do with the previous one. Does that make sense? They just kept the name. It's a completely different vehicle, not based off a pickup anymore. Different. It's not diesel. So there you go. Make that decision with that in mind. Also, for when it's coming down to used cars, my advice always is this: if you can, try to stick with the top three, because you don't know the history of that car. So all the more reason why parts and service are going to play an even bigger role. Parts and service are always going to play a big role, even when you're buying new, but it amplifies the problem when you're buying used, because you just don't know the history of the car, and more things go wrong with an older car. So you want to make sure. That's why I usually, if it's going to be used, I try to stick with Toyota, Nissan, Mitsubishi. Those usually are my top three for a used car. Of course, every now and again, something comes up that's like, okay, that's great. The price is great. You know, you can take the fun, take the risk, so to speak. But if you are not a car-minded person, I would try to go down that avenue. There you go. That's just my personal thoughts. But having said that, as an owner of a Trailblazer, I give it 2 thumbs up. Okay, next. When is the B6 Ford Raptor coming to the Philippine shores? I don't know. Don't know. Sorry. And they don't normally talk about it either. This is just the nature of the manufacturers. They always keep that close to their chest, because what ends up happening to competitors design marketing campaigns around that piece of information. Sometimes they will actually upset sales of their own internal vehicles. People who are waiting for, let's say, the V6 Raptor might not buy the current Raptors. You know what I mean? So that's why they don't really share that information, Eduardo. And I don't have inside info. Sorry. Why retain the name if it's totally new car? Yeah, not the first time. Actually, it's not even the first time with that Trailblazer, because if you recall, the Trailblazer before this Trailblazer was a completely built-up unit from the United States, totally different animal. So I see your point, Jojo. It is a good point. Why not just think of a new name? Sometimes the brand name or the name of that model is so strong already in the country that they feel that let's just continue with it. But I see completely what you mean. It's a different animal already. So there you go. I see both sides. Patroller Land Cruiser. Wow, that's a good one. For long term, oh, it's Iñaki. Wow. Hey, Iñaki. I would go Land Cruiser for long term, because the resale value of the Land Cruiser is even better than, I mean, it's better than putting money in the bank nowadays, because the money in the banks are, losing the devaluation and the inflation and all that. Land Cruisers are just so solid in terms of build quality. But if you're going to ask me personally about driving, one, take away the long-term resale value, the bulletproof mechanicals, and all this kind of jazz. I really did thoroughly enjoy my drive with the Patrol the other about a month ago. It was heaven on wheels. It really is a nice car. But then, having said that, the new Land Cruiser is also stunning. So I'd go Land Cruiser just by a little bit. But if you go Patrol, it's not a big drop down. Before we go on to the next, I'd like to thank the following people for making the show possible. We've got Modalite, of course, Petron, we got AutoKid, Ogawa, Lala Move, Malayan Insurance, and Spinove. So thank you to all of those people who have made this show, keeping it running, and we really do appreciate your help. Okay, is it more practical nowadays to buy electronic cars and gasoline-wise? More practical? I wouldn't say more practical. I think it's still a good idea, but if you want to talk about practicalities, gas is still more practical. In terms of where filling up, we don't get gas stations everywhere. We just launched charging stations in SM malls, but only 4 malls so far. By next month, we'll have about 6 or 8. And then we're going to go, I say we, like I'm part of SM, right? I'm not, but we meaning as a country, SM taking the lead on this. We're probably going to get nationwide, hopefully by the end of the year, I think they said. But they're pretty strongly committed to this, and there is a new law. Going back to your question about practicality, you have to also factor in several things. The cost of electricity in this country is the second highest in Asia. So we can't really make exactly the same arguments as they do in every other country when they talk about the cost of running the car, because you're still paying just through the plug. You're not paying through the pump anymore, but you're paying through the plug. And we all know what Meralco is like here right now. The prices are astronomical. Also, the fact that we also use dirty coal fuel for a lot of our energy generation. Not all of it. And I was actually quite surprised that it is still less than half of our electricity generated is through coal. The Philippines actually has some pretty good clean energy programs, but it's still not up to par with basically answering the question of, yes, it is far better to get an electric vehicle than a gasoline vehicle. At the moment, how I would describe it is you're still paying a premium to be one of the first adopters of it. So it doesn't necessarily make sense in an Excel sheet if you're going to work it out on what you save. You're still better off with a gasoline car. But if it's more than just exactly that down to the dollars and cents or the pesos and centavos, and you're looking at a bigger picture, which is saving, driving a greener future, then by all means, I would do it. I would definitely do it. I would definitely consider getting an EV as soon as the prices just come down just a little bit. and we get a few more charging stations. But if a manufacturer came up right now with an EV that was fairly closely priced to its gasoline counterpart, and I could get the charging station in the condo, then no problem at all. I'd go for that, 100%. But yes, we do need more government incentives to be able to bring that down to an even more attractive price range and price point. You see, Aquila is saying electronic cars are expensive, and you're right. It is. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Aside from Indonesia, we mine lithium here. Yeah, we also mine nickel, a lot of nickel. We also mine. We have so much opportunity to become leaders in EV. And I was having this discussion with the Secretary Lopez of the DPAI during the launch of the SM EV charging station. And we had a nice chat about it because I said, he gave me some insights that I didn't really know about the semiconductor businesses. I mean, I knew that we had and were strong here, but he was giving me figures that we are leaders in certain things. We also make chips, semiconductors. EV is ripe for the picking here, meaning we could establish ourselves. When you're competing with a 100-year-old, 100-plus-year-old legacy system with combustion engine, it's very hard to make your mark. And for the Philippines to now all of a sudden become a leader in the traditional combustion engine, internal combustion engine segment, right? Because we got so many players that have been doing it for so much longer. Why would we have any advantage? Whereas with EV, it kind of wipes the slate clean. These are different. It's something that we do anyway. We just need to apply it to vehicles. So I'm excited about the future, the greener future for EV cars here. But I just think it'll take a little bit more time for it to become at the adoption rate where we need it to make a real difference. Will the new MMDA color coding scheme push through next week? I hope to God not, Christopher. If you're talking about the 2-day-a-week thing and that ridiculous matrix that they're proposing, I think it's stupid. I've been very clear about how I feel about this because I really feel that before I get into that, why not just leave it to the next admin already? I mean, it's May 9 already. Next week, we're already going to have a new elected administration. Why don't you leave it to them? Why are you going to instill a program that you will not be able to sustain anyway because you are appointed officials, you're not elected officials in the MMDA, so you will be replaced. And the same will go for the DOTR, and the same will go for the LTO, and the same will go for all of those transport agencies as well. So just wait. That's my advice. Just wait. And obviously, if while waiting, come up with a better plan, please, instead of just bow out. It doesn't make sense. You want to lose weight, don't eat. No, you don't do that. You have to eat smarter. You have to exercise more. There are ways to get around the same thing. But if it's just, bow out, don't eat, it's very shallow thinking. And it actually creates bigger problems later on. We've seen it. It happens. PH can lead EV if we had good leaders. Oh, yes, Patrick Deacon. Hello, Patrick. Welcome to the show. Definitely. And hopefully coming May 9, we will have good leaders. I'm not endorsing anybody in particular. I'm not even hinting. I'm just saying that hopefully we get the leaders that we deserve. With this democracy, we're always going to get the leaders we deserve if we go through a democratic process of electing them. Just vote wisely. Please vote wisely. Don't just vote solely for your own personal interest. I know politics is a representation of your own interest, and I get that, right? This is why we should respect each other, because really, when somebody is voting for somebody, it's because that person is representing their interests. And there's nothing really wrong with that. Obviously, a farmer is going to vote for somebody that is going to have a program that will support farmers rather than, let's say, white-collar stuff. There's nothing wrong with that model of thinking. But having said that, just be mature enough to also think of the greater good of the entire country. Honesty is a universal thing. A good, clean track record for corruption and stuff like that. That's a universal thing. Whether you're a farmer or a businessman, you want your leaders to not have controversy like that. But whatever it does, just vote wisely, vote with your heart, and let's hope that we have a better, greener future together. I'm watching my words, being very careful. Last question. Let's go. Next. It's just this one from Thomas. What car can you recommend that is low maintenance, costs good mileage, and can accommodate 4 passengers? and has high ground clearance. Not expensive as well. Ooh, you want fries with that, Thomas? Holy smokes, man. What car can you recommend that has low maintenance cost, good mileage, can accommodate 4 passengers, and has high ground clearance? You know, any of these new Toyotas. The background. Oh, it's okay. My background's gone, and we only have a few minutes left. So the new Toyotas seem to have this, right? The Velos. Have you seen Velos? Right? We attended the launch the other day. These are like business class Avanzas, so to speak. You see, it's slightly higher than the car. It'll fit. It's not a 7-seater. You don't think it is. It is, right? Okay. Because I was like so excited, but I was also very excited for lunch. So I just shot around the car, and then I I can't believe I said that loud. But yeah, so it's a 7-seater. So you get a bonus, right? Not just 4, you get a bonus. So if you could fit 4, you may as well fit 7, because even if you don't use that, you can use that for luggage. So go for something like that. There's also there are many different models that are entering this space, but Toyota being the leader, they've always got kind of an advantage there. There you go. What can you say about the Velos? I just said it, so there you go. It's it's a 7-seater. I'm blushing now. Okay, let's go. We gotta run. We gotta do this. We gotta do the DDPAI. Velos is a crossover SUV. It's an Avanza, or no, it's an Avanza, but it's a business class Avanza. So think about it like that. It's got top shelf stuff from the Avanza. All right, Rocket, let's go. You're up. Rocket's eating anchovies, dried anchovies. It's proper dog food, though. Don't worry. I guess I hope they're unsalted, right? Okay, what's this? This is a diffuser. Good thing it's not sponsored. You're right there? Okay. Okay. So this is a diffuser, and this is a rocket. So this is a rocket diffuser. This here is the dash cam. This is the Mini, right? The new Mini. I've used I've used. Wow, look at that! Look at that smooth looking thing there. Look at that rocket. You know what? No more Kona Shane, Telly. You're right. Yay. Okay, so these are what's up for grabs. What I like about these, look how sleek they are, right? This is what you stick right under your dash, right under your rear view mirror, right? And look how clean that is, right? Just pop it up there. I'm trying to make it straight. Pretend that's your rear view mirror. Look at that. And then these things are also what I really like about these things. And again, these are one of the first ones I got kind of used to using, was the DDPAI, is they come with a really nice app. Do they still use the app? They do, right? I'm sure they've got even better from the time that I was using them before. Like I said, this was when I was first really strong in the advocacy of mandatory dash cams. I was using the Mini 1, the Mini 2, and now they're all the way up to, well, I'm not sure, but they are using the newest apps and stuff like that. These are really, really easy to use, user-friendly. And when I say using the apps makes it good, let's say, for example, one advantage of using an app is and I've done this is great. Like you get stopped by an enforcer, like there, bawal kayo dyan, red yung light. And it's like, no, that was green. There, red, green, red, green, red, green. Normally what you'd have to do is pull your SD card out of your dash cam and then either find a computer, card reader, download it, open it up, show the traffic officer, by which time you can imagine, how messy it got, right? With this, you can just literally go on your phone and then you can show him exactly what's happening in your dash cam. You can rewind, you can show him the different clips. It's just the app makes it that easy. That's just one of the advantages. Let's see who's going to win. I'm getting free licks here from the rocket launcher. There we go. You ready? Ready, Rocket? You want to hit that button? And I'll tell them the story about what happened to you in Rockwell, Canada. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he got attacked in Rockwell savagely by a group of ladies at lunch. We were walking past. Congratulations, Johnny Bear. Okay. These are for what? Diffusers, right? Okay, first 6 are diffusers. So we have enough time to tell the story and we drop it. There you go, Rocket. There's the truth. And raise a bar, congrats. So yeah, we were walking down, having lunch in Rockwell, and there was some kind of rally going on, and supporting, and the ladies had just jumped down to lunch, and we walked past and they screamed. They were like, "Oh my God, can we have a picture?" Of course, I ran up thinking it was me, and they were like, "No, we want it with Rocket." And sure enough, we got the picture with Rocket. You have a picture there, right? After the raffle, showed them because they were all kidding Rocket. Now Rocket walks around and people are like, "Hey Rocket, hey Rocket, hey Rocket." You got quite the profile, haven't you? And then, can I tell them what I said to the girl? Okay, yes, just for fun, right? Because it was obviously a Kakam Pink rally because everyone was in pink. And so I was just like, great. So I gave Rocket, but because she didn't want to go and have a picture with me, I said, by the way, he's a BBM dog because he's wearing red. She almost threw the poor little guy. We're kidding. He's apolitical, all right? Just because his thing is red, that's not. Oh, there it is. Oh, there we go. There we go. None of them wanted their picture with me. They just wanted it with the Rocket. There we go. All right. What was it say there? What was that? I missed that. 24 hours. Oh yeah. So by the way, if you win, you've got 24 hours to send Rocket the message, and his mom will read it because Rocket can't read. Okay, he's a smart dog, but he can't read yet. So his mom will read it for you, and we'll sort you out. Right. So next up, we got it. That was it. That was it. That's it. Rocket Chip, you've done your job. You right? You happy? You feel accomplished? Okay, you'll get one more anchovy here. All right. Good to see Mr. Bullbar tuned in today. There you go. Yeah, grab that. All right, there you go. There you go, Rocket Chip. So, congratulations to our winners. If you didn't win, we can all win come May 9, provided you pick the right candidate. As long as you thought about it, as long as you know you didn't just go for the hysteria, you didn't go for just the optics of it all, you did your research, I support you. Whoever you vote for, end of the day, that's your choice. I respect that, but just make sure that each vote counts. So just vote wisely is all I ask. I won't tell you who to vote for, nobody should, but you know what? You know in your heart what the right thing is to do. And so long as you go through that process, I think we'll be in a better spot. So till then, take care, guys. And remember, Makati's kind of closed, right, over the weekend, so be careful. If you're planning to head over here, just keep that in mind. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Stay safe.
Fancy meeting you in my internet. Couldn't help but notice your smile, while everybody else around us is surfing about. Can we just stop and chat a while? Get away from these gray and boring, lonesome days of our quarantine. Early yet to say what lies ahead. It's just the first day of the rest of our lives. Love could be waiting at the end of this quarantine. Let's stop and talk a while. Let's stop and talk a while.